My name is Jordan Wilson. I'm 35 years old from Madisonville, Kentucky. I've been walking with Christ clean and sober for over 7 years now. I grew up in a good Christian home, like in the suburbs. My father was a coal miner. My mom was a real estate agent. I have an older brother. I had a good upbringing. My parents brought us to church. My dad was my baseball coach, my basketball coach. And I remember walking with the Lord at a young age. I remember I would go to school all day. After school, I would do baseball conditioning. And after baseball, I would go home and spend time with the Lord. But you know, as time went on, I got a little older, I started caring more about girls and started caring more about popularity and parties. I got drunk for the first time at 17, smoked weed the first time at 18 years old. I loved the way it made me feel. Once high school was over and I wasn't in a relationship anymore, I thought I need to find purpose, and I couldn't find it in anything. Really what I was doing is I was trying to fill a God-sized hole in my heart that no woman, no amount of money, no position could ever fill. But when I first tried pain pills, that gave me that synthetic feeling of happiness. I remember I was working second shift at this factory. I was making good money as a mold technician, so I was basically a mechanic. And I ate 2 or 3 Lortabs. And it was the first time that I had ever gotten high off of pain pills. I continued using these drugs every day. I had easy sources, and I didn't even know that I was becoming addicted. I experienced drug withdrawal for the first time, and I didn't know what was happening. I left work, and someone came over to check on me and brought some pills, and all those feelings went away. And so really, my life's mission became to make sure that I never felt that way again. As long as you're on that narcotic, you don't really care about anything else. So my life was quickly falling apart, and I was too high to even notice it. So I eventually got busted. I lost my job at that factory and started selling narcotics full time. I had many police officers raid my home, and I got incarcerated. After being released from jail, I started trying the rehab thing. I tried several programs that I just couldn't make it through, but the problem was my heart never changed, right? And that's what God's after. I was at the lowest point of my life when I came to the Isaiah House. I had burned all of my bridges. I mean, I'm talking family was sick of me, didn't really have any more friends to mooch off of. I was back on a needle. I mean, I had given up on life. And a week before I came to the Isaiah House, I gave my life to Christ. My dad invited me to church, and I knew that this was my moment. This was my fork in the road to where I could choose death or choose life, and I gave my life to Christ. My life today is so much better than I ever thought I could have. I knew I always wanted a family, but I never knew how I'd get there. So now I'm married to a beautiful woman who loves the Lord, who loves me. I have 2 beautiful kids. I have a 4-year-old son and a 2-year-old daughter. I'm an executive staff member at a Christ Center drug rehab in Owensboro, Kentucky called Friends of Sinners. Today I published a book. It's called Jesus Greater Than Drugs. That book is in every jail and prison in 2 countries. So God's doing amazing things in my life where I share my testimony all over the country. Scripture is true. It says, Ephesians 3:20, to him who is able to do exceedingly abundantly more than you could think, ask, or imagine, according to his power that is at work within us. And I am living proof of that because God is doing so much more than I ever could have imagined. I tell people all the time, you're gonna search the world over and over looking for grit, looking for your place. You're gonna look for it in a job, in a relationship, in money, and you'll never find it outside of Christ. And so now I'm living inside of my purpose, and I know that, and there is no amount of money that can pay for that. Like, I'm truly free, and I'm in God's will, and I know it. I mean, I love it.